Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. When you think about the NFC East and the potential shakeups heading into the offseason, one name that's been buzzing around NFL circles is Derwin James. Reports from NFL.com murmur that the Los Angeles Chargers, currently sitting at a 4-5 record in what many are calling a rebuild, are considering trading their star safety. And interestingly, the Washington Commanders are emerging as a potential landing spot for James, which could be a game-changer for the team's defense and their overall championship aspirations. Now, the Chargers are in a tricky spot. They've got a decent cap situation, with around $16 million available, but their defense has been underwhelming, allowing an average of 24 points per game. Despite having a versatile player like Derwin James, who has proven to be a game-changer when healthy, they're contemplating a move that would send him away in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026. Why? Because Los Angeles is prioritizing their offense and run defense, especially after Justin Herbert's impressive 62% completion rate, but they're also focused on rebuilding and reallocating their cap space. The idea is to acquire draft capital now, especially on the offensive line, where they need reinforcements to protect Herbert and help him reach new heights. From the NFL.com sources, the Chargers are apparently skeptical about losing James, especially considering his impact. In 2025, James registered 52 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 2 sacks, with a PFF grade of 92, which is elite. His ability to cover with only 0.9 yards per target allowed and his EPA per play of -0.29 show how impactful he is on the field. Plus, he's been remarkably durable with no major injuries in recent seasons. His career stats include 12 interceptions, 450 tackles, and 18 sacks, numbers that scream impact and consistency. Still, the Chargers believe that prioritizing their offense might be the smarter move for now, especially with their defensive struggles, which include allowing an average of 24 points a game. They're likely betting that with the draft capital gained from trading James, they can bolster their offensive line and continue building around Herbert. Switching gears to the Commanders, this potential move could be a seismic shift. The team is currently sitting at 3-6, but has a healthy cap space of around $22 million, giving them the flexibility to make big moves. Adding Derwin James to their secondary would be a massive upgrade, especially considering his versatility and playmaking ability. James isn't just a traditional safety. He's a true box safety who can also cover tight ends and slot receivers, making him a nightmare for offenses. His addition would bring a level of security to the back end of the defense that the Commanders have been craving, and it could dramatically reduce big plays by opponents by as much as 10%. Plus, his presence on third downs would be a game-changer, boosting third down stops by around 16% and even pushing turnovers up by approximately 1.3 per game. For the fans who follow the team closely, this isn't just about adding a star. It's about transforming the entire defense into an elite unit reminiscent of the 2000 Ravens, who made offenses miserable with their relentless defense. With James patrolling the secondary, the Commanders could see a significant uptick in their turnover differential, which is crucial for winning close games. His ability to force fumbles, combined with his tackling and coverage skills, makes him a perfect fit for a team that's looking to make a playoff push and perhaps even contend for a Super Bowl. One interesting aspect of this potential trade is a comparison that's been floating around: James versus the Commanders' safeties. His coverage grade is +2, 0 points higher than their current safeties, and he wins blitzes about 11% more than the average safety, making him a true X-factor on defense. If he joins Washington, he could be the catalyst for a secondary that's been inconsistent at times, especially against the league's top passing attacks. His impact could be felt immediately, boosting the overall confidence of the entire defense and setting the tone for the rest of the team. Looking ahead, the Super Bowl odds for the Commanders could see a significant shift, especially if they land a player of James's caliber. Currently, they're sitting at +12, 0 to win the big game, but with his addition and the right pieces around him, those odds could shrink dramatically, perhaps to +3, 500 or better. James would be a true difference maker, reminiscent of the impact Earl Thomas had on the Seahawks' Legion of Boom during their Super Bowl run. His knack for forcing turnovers, combined with his leadership and versatility, could elevate Washington from a decent team into a serious contender. From a broader perspective, this move represents a vision, one that sees the Commanders not just as a team trying to make the playoffs, but as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The team has been building steadily, and adding a player like James would send a message that this franchise is all in on winning now. It's about creating a defense that strikes fear into opponents, a defense that can carry the team through tough games, and a defense that can be remembered for years to come as the backbone of a championship-winning squad. And let's not forget the context of the NFC East. It's a division that's always competitive, with teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants constantly pushing each other. If the Commanders can bolster their defense with James, they could finally turn the tide of the division, establishing themselves as a true powerhouse and not just a team trying to stay afloat. This kind of move could also influence the division's future, forcing rivals to rethink their strategies and personnel decisions. Of course, all of this hinges on the trade negotiations and how the Chargers view the value of James versus the draft capital and cap space they gain. But if it happens, it's going to be one of those moves that fans will talk about for years, a turning point in the franchise's history. Derwin James has the talent, the experience, and the leadership qualities to transform any defense he joins, and if the Commanders pull this off, they could be setting themselves up for a very bright future. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, the potential acquisition of Derwin James by the Washington Commanders isn't just a rumor, it's a statement of intent. This is a team that's looking to shake things up, to make a statement, and to build a defense that can carry them to the promised land. James's impact on the field would be immediate and profound, helping to reduce big plays, increase turnovers, and elevate the overall level of play. For fans, it's an exciting possibility that could redefine the team's future and give them a real shot at challenging for the NFC title and ultimately the Super Bowl. As the offseason approaches and trade talks heat up, keep your eyes on the Commanders. This could be the move that transforms everything. Whether or not it happens, one thing is for sure. The narrative around the team will be changing, and the energy among the fans is reaching new heights. Remember, the NFL is a league of momentum, and a single trade can set a franchise on a whole new trajectory. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's see how this story unfolds. The future looks bright for Washington Commanders fans, and this could be just the beginning of something extraordinary.